What's up, traders? In this video, we're going to go over today's trading session. We are currently looking at ES. We are looking at the 2000 tick chart, which is similar to the 1 minute. The only other indicator I do use is the 21 EMA. And other than that, I solely rely on price action and trend lines. Now, as you can see, we have a nice uptrend working higher and higher with a series of higher highs and higher lows. And starting from the lowest pivot, I have about 1, 2 confirmation touches, and geometrically it aligns great. Now, according to price action rules, as long as this uptrend is working higher and within this trend, we are only looking to go long. Now, once this trend breaks lower and below the trend line, and we have a new high or a new extreme as we call it, then we pause looking to go long. But as you can see, we have a nice uptrend working higher, and we haven't once we broke lower, we haven't tested the new high. So all I'm thinking about is looking to go long. Now, the only way I would think about going short or reversing or even just canceling this uptrend is if we pass the 60% retracement. But as you can see, we have more than enough room and we are way above it. So I'm not even looking to reverse. I'm only thinking about going long. Now, the market opened around this time, and usually it can have some volatility, so we really don't have much direction here. So when you don't have that much direction, what I suggest you do is draw a consolidation or a range. So as you can see here, I drew a nice range. We just have about 1, 2, 3 confirmations at the top for the resistance, and we have a nice support. And we also have about 3 touches at the bottom here, so this really confirms it. Now, when you have a range set up, we're only thinking to go long, so you can look at it and take it in 2 ways. You can wait for a price to break above it, and we wait for a breakout pullback at the EMA, or you can look for a failed breakout, which is my favorite kind of setups to take. So as you can see here, the bears tried driving the price lower below support, and we failed. You can see they only had one close, and the bulls bought it up almost instantaneously. So this is a failed breakout. Now, when that happens, what I like to do is I like to wait for an additional confirmation. So on its way up, if we had a nice higher low above EMA, I would have taken it. But as you can see, we just pushed higher. The bulls just took control and the momentum took over, and we didn't have any correction at the EMA, which is this purple line. So unfortunately, I couldn't have any entry. You could also draw the shortened channels, which I like to do just so it gives you an idea of what's going on and um, who's in charge for this small trend, right? But if you zoom out, the bigger picture, we're looking to go long, but I just like it as a small indicator. Now, as you can see, as soon as we pushed higher, we had no correction at the EMA, so there was no way for me to enter. And we ended up pushing higher and making a new high. And let me just grab this and show you so I can just label it. So remember, this was the bigger trend, and once we pushed higher here, we ended up making a new high around here. So right now, we're going to pause looking to go long because the bigger trend ended up having a new high. So when this happens, you have to pause looking to go long. Now, 2 of the 3 things are going to happen. We're either going to get a consolidation, a continuation, or a reversal. So this is where you just wait and you look for the next market's move. If any of you guys weren't paying attention and didn't notice that we did make a new high here and you did take this double trap, it makes sense, but I like to wait, especially after we have a new extreme, just so I can see what the market's next cycle is. But as you can see, we had, counting from this recent high pivot, we have a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. The downside correction played out. We had a break, a new low right here, and this was the double trap. This trapped all the bears, and it didn't even close above EMA, but just alone that it rejected off the trend line is enough confirmation to get in. And if you did take it, it was a winning trade, but it's a little bit more on the risky side. So as the market continued pushing higher and higher, and you can just see prices above the EMA, I decided to draw a nice spike in a channel pattern here. And same rules apply for like the recent uptrend we had. As long as we are within this uptrend, I am only looking to take a long position. So I waited for the correction to play out here. It started kind of going a little sideways. We first had this first leg down, and you have to wait for the corrections to play out, right? So we ended up having a break, and a new low for this small downtrend. So I was waiting for a push above EMA with a higher low confirmation to take a long. We didn't have that. And if you guys take a look at the price action, price is now starting to go in the middle of the EMA. Now, once you see that, this is a great indication that we are turning into a range or consolidation, if you want to call it. And this is an area where you want the same rules applied back here, where you want to not trade inside of it because it can go sideways. There's not really direction. You want to fade the breakout. So you either want to wait for a failed breakout or a breakout pullback. In this scenario, this consolidation was playing out for a bit. And if you even zoom out, you can see we had two legs down, one leg down here. And if I copy this, oops, if I copy this, we also had a second leg down. So we have a two-leg correction, right? Even if the smaller downtrend had a break a new low, we pushed below the support. Same thing happened as we happened down here where we had a failed breakout where price tried or bears tried shorting the price and bulls ended up buying it, and it was a failed breakout. The bears failed to break price lower. So when this happened, I was looking for two things. I was looking for either a second entry long, counting from the recent high it makes, or I was looking for a reversal pattern. Now, the reason why I was looking for those two and a higher low wasn't enough is because um, once price kind of starts stalling and we get more and more far away from that recent high, you just want more confirmation. So what I wanted was a reversal pattern. So counting from this low, we had a new low, first entry short, this red candle here. The bears tried shorting and they failed. As you can see, we didn't even trigger below it. We ended up reversing above it. So this is the first entry short failure. Then we finally pushed above EMA and we had a big green candle right here. This is the failed second entry short. So as you can see, if I move this down a little, the bears tried shorting below this previous candle, ended up getting bought up. So this was a great candle, ended up very strong above EMA. So I ended up taking this candle right here. Let me put an arrow for you guys so you can see which one I'm talking about. This right here. Let me move this out of the way and get rid of this. So this was a great setup right here that I took. And my target was this recent high. Oh, I'm sorry, this recent high right here, because that's part of the trend, right? We had a spike in the channel. We needed a new high for this channel. Um, I ended up actually taking a little bit shorter price target just because um, things were kind of whipsawing back and forth. But I hit my usual target profit, which was about 4 points. So I could have went or got greedy and went for a little more, but that's usually what I go for depending on the ATR, of course. So I ended up taking this for a long position above EMA. We ended up breaking and making a new high. So now all trends played out. The bigger one had a break in a new high, and this spike in the channel had a break in a new high. Now I was looking for a bigger channel, but I really couldn't find something that fits great geometrically. This channel here, the green line, doesn't have confirmations. There's a lot of space. You want something where you get a lot of confirmations from beginning, middle to end. So I really couldn't find a bigger pattern. So I just decided to look for more information to take. And then once again, we turned into a consolidation where whenever you see prices in the middle of EMA, you can guess we're in a range or pre-draw it, and eventually price will let you know what we're in. So I ended up drawing a nice consolidation like this. And as you can see, price is just going kind of sideways, not much price action. This is an area you want to avoid. A lot of traders get trapped here. You would just want to wait for the next market cycle. We ended up pushing a little higher, and you could have taken a long position here, but there's not really much going on. You want to see a strong continuation. There was no setup here regardless because I counted this as a break and a new high right here. So, there wasn't really much going on. Then we finally had a strong decisive move down. It started off as a small leg down with a break and a new low. But guys, remember, if this second leg exceeds the first, there's usually a wider alternative or a wider channel. So as you can see, these blue lines, we have one leg down, sideways action, a little bit broad, second leg down. And as you can see, the third push down exceeds the first leg. So this is where you want to draw a wider alternative. But I tried widening it and I didn't get as many confirmations. So if I widened it to this candle right here, it's not touching here. Down here, we're not really getting as much confirmation touches as well. So I ended up just leaving it as a break and the new low. And mind you, we traded up all day. So I really didn't anticipate for the market to reverse. So this is an area where I just waited. We ended up, and this is getting late in the day, we ended up kind of going a little sideways, but we had a little spike in a channel followed by a break and a new high. Now, some of you guys might have drawn it a little bit wider, which I understand, but as you can see, and the EMA is your friend, it's like a compass. It lets you know really the direction that the market's taking. And as you can see, when we came to EMA, it just collapsed. So once you see price not respect the EMA, not holding above it, and you see a trend that can possibly be, you can draw it a little tighter with a break, I would just go with that. So we're going to count this as a break and a new high for this uptrend. And then over here, this is around 3 p.m. Market started getting a little slow. We started going sideways. And as I always say, when it goes sideways, look for a range to draw. So we can just, you know, start it from here. Let's use this one. And we had more confirmations here. Always start from the lowest pivot and wait to see as many confirmations as you get. So we just had a consolidation here. Not much really going on. Uh, when it's a tight range like this, the only way you can really trade is buy low, sell high. So, for instance, let's say, and I don't recommend trading in a market like this, especially towards the end of the day, lack of volume and momentum. But let's say you did want to take a trade, you would wait for either side to break out, right? Wait for the shortened channels to play out and take a position. So, for example, here we had, you know, or we can even draw it a little bit steeper since the second leg exceeds. You can draw it like this. We have a break. We have a new low right here. And as you can see, it's a failed breakout. We tried pushing under the support. We failed. We had a nice A1 higher low that trapped all the bears. And you could have took a long position here for a couple points. And that was really it for the day. And we ended up closing. So that was my trade for the day. Guys, like I always say, quality over quantity, and it's been a great week. We definitely had a lot of bullish bias this whole week. And if you were patient, you can see all the trades I took, which was usually one a day, but that's more than enough. It was a great profitable week, and I'm hoping the same for this week. So if you guys haven't already, subscribe. I post a video every other day to teach you guys my trading strategy that I've been using for about 13 years now. Thank you and take care.